the holding company blueprint. Chapter 1. The birth of the parent company. Wealth begins with structure. Most people chase income. The wealthy chase architecture. A holding company is not just a corporation, it is the mind of an empire. It is the parent, the vault, the source. Rich Dad taught that assets put money in your pocket. Reginald F. Lewis taught that the company that owns the assets puts power in your hands. When you combine these two philosophies, you unlock the blueprint to expand beyond limitations. Your holding company sits at the top like a crown. It receives money, multiplies money, and controls the companies that create money. True freedom begins the moment you stop working inside a business and start owning the businesses that work for you. You become powerful the moment you stop being the labor and become the architecture. Chapter 2. The money loop. A wealthy mind doesn't see dollars. It sees cycles. Money comes in, money gets deployed, money comes back stronger. Your holding company receives a $200,000 loan. Instead of spending it, it circulates it. It loans $100,000 to one company. It loans $100,000 to the other. Both subsidiaries use that capital to generate cash flow. Both subsidiaries pay $1,000 per month back to the parent. Both repay the loan upward. Both pay brand fees upward. Both feed the mother company. This creates an infinite loop. Money down, money multiplies, money returns, money reinvests. The wealthy don't spend money, they cycle it. Now, Chapter 3. Why money must stay in the house. When you have multiple LLCs under one parent, the economy of your life changes. Every dollar stays in the family. Every expense becomes another company's profit. Every move strengthens the system. The poor lose money to the world. The middle class save money in the world. The wealthy build a private world where money never escapes. This is why the holding company is the powerhouse. Every dollar earned gets recycled. Every expense becomes income somewhere else. Every repayment becomes leverage. Every deposit creates creditworthiness. When money stays home, wealth becomes inevitable. Chapter 4. The Rich Dad philosophy. Rich Dad said, work to learn, not to earn. But at the higher level, the real lesson is, work to build the system that earns. Your holding company is that system. Your vending companies are assets. Your franchise company is an asset. Your AI location system is an asset. Everything under the holding company becomes a tool. Everything supports everything else. Everything builds the parent. This is the foundation of generational power. Don't just buy assets. Build the entity that owns the assets. Chapter 5. The Reginald F. Lewis strategy. Reginald Lewis didn't build new businesses. He acquired them, structured them, and scaled them through his parent company. He understood cash flow on a deeper level: internal lending, leverage capital, corporate layering, parent company profit extraction, subsidiary expansion, banking relationships at the top. You are applying the same formula. The holding company borrows, the subsidiaries build value, the holding company extracts value, the bank sees a powerful parent, credit grows, funding grows, influence grows. You don't need more labor, you need more layers. Chapter 6. Business credit power. The holding company builds credit. Each subsidiary builds credit. This multiplies your total borrowing power. One company with $15,000 credit is good. Two companies with $15,000 credit is better. But a holding company with strong revenue flows? That is where banks truly open the vault. Your business structure becomes a financial engine. Each company receives credit. Each company receives funding. Each company strengthens the group. Credit stacked in layers becomes capital stacked in millions. Chapter 7. Funding the empire. Once the holding company shows revenue coming from subsidiaries, fees coming from management, loan repayments coming upward, organized books, predictable cash flow, banks are no longer lending to a small business. They are lending to a corporate parent. Funding levels increase from 50k, 150k, 300k, 750k, and 1.2 men plus, because the bank sees what you truly have: a machine, a system, a financial ecosystem that cannot be stopped. Banks lend to strength, and structure is strength. Chapter 8. How companies fund each other. Company A gets funded. Company B gets funded. Both pay into the holding company. The holding company lends again. The subsidiaries grow. The parent expands. The cycle repeats. Your companies don't just operate, they feed each other. Company A buys inventory. Company B supplies product. Company B earns revenue. Company A buys services. Both pay the parent. Parent lends more capital. This is how a small business becomes an empire. Own the companies that feed the companies. Chapter 9. The philosophy of internal wealth. Internal wealth means you don't wait for opportunity, you manufacture opportunity. You don't ask for loans. You engineer credit. You don't depend on customers. You depend on systems. The money that comes in today will still be in your ecosystem 10 years from now. Multiplied, leveraged, recycled. This is how dynasties are built. Wealth isn't earned, wealth is engineered. Chapter 10. The legacy. Every vending machine, every LLC, every dollar of credit is a brick in the building of your legacy. You aren't building a small business. You are creating a multi-entity corporate system designed to outlive you. Your holding company becomes the center of generational advancement. Your children inherit a structure, not a job. They inherit systems, not stress. They inherit an ecosystem, not debt. They inherit the blueprint. The goal is not to make a living. The goal is to build a life that lives beyond you. If you want more chapters, a longer book, an audiobook script, chapter titles redesigned, or a full 20-chapter expansion, just tell me. Continue the book? Understood. I will rewrite the book clean, fully, as a normal.
Power of ownership. Wealth is not built by people who work inside businesses. Wealth is built by people who own the businesses that the workers work inside of. This is the first law of financial elevation. Ownership multiplies faster than labor ever can. A holding company is the throne of the kingdom. Every asset you build, every LLC you form, every dollar your companies generate, they all bow to the parent company. Rich Dad taught the world. Open quote, "The rich don't work for money, money works for them," close quote. Reginald F. Lewis expanded that truth. Open quote, "Control the company that controls the money," close quote. When you combine these two philosophies, you unlock the ultimate formula. A holding company that owns income machines, funds its subsidiaries, and recycles wealth internally until it becomes generational. Your companies don't operate separately, they form an ecosystem, a financial organism. Each business feeds the next. Each dollar circulates like blood, nothing leaks out, everything stays in the family. That's the blueprint. Chapter 2. The Empire Mindset. There is a mindset every great builder must adopt. I am no longer a worker, I am no longer a hustler, I am a CEO of CEOs. Most people think small because they operate small. They see themselves as an employee inside life, not the architect of their own economic kingdom. But a holding company forces elevation. Suddenly, you're thinking, how can these companies fund each other? How can this business lower the tax burden of that one? How can this subsidiary generate revenue that strengthens the parent? How can I scale without adding more labor? This is how rich people think. This is how wealthy families build dynasties. They don't build one business, they build systems of businesses that feed each other. Remember this quote, open quote, "If your money only works in one place, your wealth will stop in one place," close quote. But when you create multiple companies under one holding company, you create multiple income engines, all pumping money into the same reservoir. That is how an empire thinks. That is how an empire grows. Chapter 3. The structure that prints money. A holding company at the top, two operating companies below, a loan from the bank into the holding company. The holding company distributes that loan downward. The subsidiaries use the capital to create revenue. The subsidiaries pay monthly fees and loan repayments upward. The holding company uses that cash flow to qualify for even bigger loans. This is the wealthy man's loop. This is the Reginald Lewis method. This is the rich dad engine. Money moves like this: bank, holding company, subsidiaries, holding company, bank for a larger loan, repeat. This creates unlimited funding, unlimited leverage, unlimited expansion. Your companies no longer survive off your personal money. They survive off the system you created. Your job isn't to run the businesses. Your job is to run the machine that funds the businesses. Chapter 4. Internal lending. The secret wealth weapon. One of the most powerful strategies is internal lending. The holding company receives $200,000. It loans $100,000 to each subsidiary. Each subsidiary buys machines, products, services, software, whatever creates income. Then every month they pay $1,000 fee, loan repayment, licensing fee. And where does all that money go? Back to the holding company. This is how you become your own bank. This is how you compound wealth inside the corporate structure. This is why the wealthy never run out of money, because they don't spend money. They circulate money, they multiply money, they pull money back home like a magnet. Reginald Lewis didn't build companies, he built cash flow pipelines. He built internal loops. He built ecosystems that fed themselves. This is the same blueprint. Chapter 5. Business credit, the fuel of expansion. Each subsidiary builds business credit. The holding company builds business credit. As each credit profile grows, the empire grows. Business credit allows you to get capital without personal guarantees, get funding without risking your personal credit, build leverage the smart way, expand rapidly, buy more machines, enter new markets, acquire companies, scale vertically and horizontally. Every credit line becomes a new source of power. Every approval becomes a new bridge to expansion. This is how you grow faster than the competition. They use their savings. You use other people's money. They use one credit line. You use 3 corporations with 3 credit lines. They start from scratch. You start from strength. Chapter 6, the circle of wealth. The rich don't chase money. They position themselves so money chases them. When your subsidiaries pay the holding company, and the holding company qualifies for more loans, and the holding company buys more assets, and those assets create more income, you have created a self-reinforcing wealth loop. It produces stability, leverage, cash reserves, borrowing power, expansion, protection, generational strength. This is not income. This is an economic engine. This is what the wealthy are born into and what the ambitious build consciously. Chapter 7. Scaling the empire. With the holding company strong, you can acquire vending routes, acquire small companies, add real estate, franchise your model, launch software, add e-commerce, expand into new states, create management companies, create media companies. Every new company plugs into the loop. Every new company sends fees upward. Every new company expands the power of the holding company. This is how the wealthy scale, not by adding more labor, but by adding more entities. The poor add jobs. The middle class add side hustles. The rich add corporations. Chapter 8. Generational wealth engineering. Generational wealth is not money. It is systems that produce money. If your children inherit a single business, they inherit a job. If they inherit a holding company with multiple subsidiaries, they inherit an empire. Your holding company becomes a legacy machine. It becomes a vault, a bank, an investment engine, a corporate fortress, a financial inheritance. This is what the wealthy pass down. Not savings, not a small business, not whatever is left. They pass down structures, they pass down entities, they pass down financial ecosystems. This is how families build wealth that lasts 100 years. Chapter 9. Motivational fire. The mindset to win. You must carry the mindset of warriors, kings, and builders. Here are the truths. Open quote. If you want a new life, you must build a new system. Close quote. Open quote. You are not meant to survive, you are meant to expand. Close quote. Open quote. You don't rise by effort, you rise by structure. Close quote. Open quote. When you build a kingdom, money becomes your servant. Close quote. You are not ordinary. You are not average. You are not meant for small thinking. You are an architect of wealth, a designer of legacy, a creator of corporate power. Remember, momentum belongs to the brave. Expansion belongs to the bold. Generational wealth belongs to the strategic. Chapter 10. The blueprint lives inside you. You now hold the blueprint. Rich Dad gave the philosophy. Reginald Lewis gave the structure. You built the system, your holding company, your subsidiaries, your credit lines, your loan flows, your revenue machines, your money loops. This is not just a business. This is a dynasty blueprint. A blueprint built for power, a blueprint built for expansion, a blueprint built for legacy. Now the question becomes, what will you build next? Because the system is alive. The world teaches you to build from scratch. But the wealthy understand a different truth. Open quote. Ownership is faster than construction. Close quote. When you buy a company, you buy time, you buy customers, you buy contracts, you buy locations, you buy cash flow, you buy momentum. Robert Kiyosaki taught you to buy assets. Reginald F. Lewis taught you to buy companies. And now, with your holding company in place, you can execute the strategy the elite use quietly. Acquire the competition, absorb their roots, take their locations, expand without lifting a finger. Most vending operators are not business people. They are hustlers, freelancers, solo operators. No systems, no accountants, no corporate structure, no exit strategy. This makes them vulnerable. Their weakness is your opportunity. And because when you walk in not as a vending guy, but as Venmark Holdings Incorporated, you instantly position yourself as a buyer, a capital-backed acquirer, a corporate structure, a team, a safe landing for their tired business. You aren't buying vending machines. You're buying their existing locations, their mall approvals, their routes, their brand positioning, their customer habits, their contracts, their prime spots, their exclusivity. And you do it with your holding company's money, not your own. This is the game, the elite game, the wealth game. Open quote, wealth is not speed, wealth is leverage. Reginald F. Lewis, close quote. You're not running one vending business, you're building a self-funding acquisition machine. Now chapter 4, how to take over other vending companies. Taking over a vending company isn't about aggression, it's about positioning. Here is the takeover formula. National 1, look for operators who are tired. They're everywhere. You know the speech. I'm getting older. I'm burnt out. I'm ready to do something else. My knees hurt. My wife wants me home more. I can't keep up with repairs. The mall wants new machines. These are not problems, these are opportunities. Nasher 2, offer relief, not pressure. You don't say, I want your business. You say, let me help you exit the right way. You become the solution. You become the safety net. You become the professional. 3, use your holding company as the buyer, not your personal name, not your vending LLC. Your holding company buys the vending company. Machines, locations, contracts, routes, maintenance agreement, trading positions at malls, intellectual property. This creates distance, protection, power. 4, finance the acquisition with other people's money, OPM. Your holding company borrows the money, then loans it to the newly acquired subsidiary. This is self-funding. This is the loop. This is the system. Open quote, the rich use money as a tool, not as a crutch. Rich dad. Close quote, you aren't spending money, you're recycling it. Number 5, install your systems into the new company. Once you absorb them, your branding, your AI location system, your sales funnels, your mall relationships, your accountants, your management fees, your payment processing, your inventory suppliers, everything becomes one machine. The more companies you acquire, the faster your ecosystem grows. Chapter 5, the self-funding platform. This is the secret chapter, the chapter nobody explains, the chapter hidden from the public. Your holding company isn't just a parent, it is a central bank, a vault, a lender, an investor, a funding machine. Every time your companies pay monthly fees, your holding company grows cash rich. Every time you get business credit, you multiply your borrowing power. Every time you circulate money internally, you compress the wealth. This creates what I call the self-funding platform, a system where your companies fund themselves, fund each other, fund acquisitions, fund expansions, fund marketing, fund the next move, fund you. This is what wealthy families do. They build a system that feeds itself, grows itself, and funds itself. Once the cycle starts, it does not stop. You become unstoppable. Open quote, build a machine that pays for its own evolution, motivational principle. Close quote, your vending business is no longer a business, it is a micro-conglomerate. Chapter 6, how to motivate a new generation of owners. This chapter is where the heart beats. Because your story isn't just about building vending machines, it is about building possibility. People are taught to be employees, not creators, not owners, not investors, not visionaries. Your story proves something powerful. Open quote, if you can build one machine, you can build a system. If you can build a system, you can build an empire. Motivational quote, close quote. Your journey teaches. Hashed ownership, structure, credit mastery, funding strategy, corporate thinking, elevation beyond labor, legacy building. Your book becomes a blueprint, a roadmap, a permission slip. Millions need to hear this. Open quote, you don't have to start big, you just have to start with structure. Motivational quote, chapter 7, expanding into multiple states. Once you buy out your local competitors, you expand outward. Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Texas, California, Colorado. Your holding company stays the same. Your subsidiaries multiply. A holding company with 5 vending LLCs, 2 retail LLCs, 1 franchise LLC, 1 AI software LLC, 1 real estate LLC becomes bankable at high 6 figures and eventually 7-figure credit capacity. Banks love structure. Banks love control. Banks love revenue streams. Banks love stability. You become a prime borrower and the acquisitions continue. Chapter 8, merging and absorbing small operators. You start offering buyouts, mergers, partnerships, equity swaps, cash offers, debt takeovers. You don't fight your competitors. You absorb them, just like the giants do. You become the Walmart of vending, the Amazon of exotic snack machines, the regional vending powerhouse. Chapter 9, leveraging AI to scale the empire. Your AI location finding system becomes the secret weapon, while others cold call malls. Your AI targets foot traffic zones, shopper psychology, mall vacancy trends, demographic patterns, product demand clusters. You place machines where demand already exists, not where you hope demand will be. Smart placement, smart scaling, smart expansion. Chapter 10, the future of your holding company. The future is not linear. It explodes upward. Your holding company becomes a lender, a buyer, a money engine, an investor, a brand, a franchise, a digital platform, a private equity miniature. You realize the truth. Open quote, you were never building a vending business. You were building a legacy vessel. Motivational quote, close quote. Your holdings can one day be worth $20 million, $40 million, and $75 million, $100 million, because companies aren't valued by machines. They're valued by systems, contracts, intellectual property, cash flows, subsidiaries, scalability, branding, corporate structure. You are building a true enterprise. This is how dynasties begin.